I deduced that Wakefield Fink matches are 40 minutes long and King Jack is the real deal. Shall we start with that line on Wakefield, actually? I mean, they did get an injury, a knee injury for Jacob Miller midway through the first half, which will have hurt their attack, which already isn't exactly firing this year when Tom Johnson and Bill Tupou were out of the lineup to start things off as well. But they clearly were up to a match of St Helens, given that it was 0-0 at half time. They, had a really good first half against Wigan, were probably the better side against Leeds in the first half, even though they were behind on the scoreboard in that one. They only play half a game.
Games are 8 minutes long, and a Super League season is made up of lots of 80-minute games, and if you're not going to play that, you're going to find yourself in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, no, and it did turn around pretty quickly after half time. It was, within 12 minutes of the restart, it was 18-0. Now, Jack Welsby, even his own coach was saying that he's going to have a tough call to make now when Percival's fully fit. He got all the sort of plaudits for being the best player in this game. He really jumps out from the highlights. I don't know if you've caught them, Tim, but you'll see, a bit of power and strength from him breaking tackles, a bit of pace and speed to break away from those broken tackles. Then some assists. There was one with a nice low offload, one with a nice short kick. So, he showed the complete package in this game, and he's a real hero, isn't he? Even at his very young age, and it's going to be hard to knock him out of this side, even for someone as accomplished as Mark Percival.
Exactly, and he's already scaled heights that other players can't even dream of, and in this early in his career. So I think everything we've seen from him shows he's quite a well-rounded package.
Oh, for sure.
And his versatility is going to help him at this stage of his career. At some point, in probably 2 to 3 years' time, he needs to, with his coach and with his team, he needs to decide what that position he's going to specialise in. But I think he's got the ability at this stage to do a top level job in pretty much any position he chooses.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there was a few nice tries from Saints. The Bentley try was good. Welsby made a break in the middle of the pitch and Farr supported and set Bentley free. Bentley ran through a blatant swinging high shot from Hampshire that I still think he could have got a sin bin for, even without the try being scored. It was pretty shitty from him. Showed his tackling prowess. But the Grace second try was maybe just better. This time it was Ignatius Passy who made the initial powerful break through the middle before Lewis Dodd, who came off the bench, got involved, put a nice little pass for Welsby, who was running a really good line. Welsby didn't quite have the speed to go all the way, but he found that low offload for Regan Grace, who collected it really well actually around his toes and managed to dart inside the defenders to finish. So some good tries there from St Helens, and they'll be furious about the first half being so scratchy, but when they've only played, you could argue they only played for half a game in a way, because you would have thought they would have been up on in the first half, and to run away so easily with it once they did click into gear shows just how much of a gulf of class there is between these two sides.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we are looking at top 4 if not top 2 against bottom 4 if not bottom 2.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think then, Tim, all that we should say now is it's not a second, 7 seconds away. Just as long as I stay, I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting. Because it's time to talk about Hull KR versus Huddersfield.
I'm just glad that for the first time in quite a while, I turned on ahead of the game, because quite often with Fridays in particular, if I'm watching it, I don't remember it's on until quite late, or I've been watching someone else and I turn over a couple of a minute or two in, and for once I'd actually watched a bit of the build up and had it on, which was a good job, because otherwise I would have missed one of the best tries of the game. So it's finished.
Maker.
Exactly. Hull KR 25, Huddersfield 24, having been 18-4 at half-time. Liam Moore was the man in the middle for this one. In terms of the statistics, they were really close, like the outcome. The only real difference was 5 more errors by Huddersfield. Otherwise, the Giants very narrowly snatched most stats on balance. In terms of the winning Hull KR side, Matt Parcell with 42 tackles, 7 tackle busts, 139 metres going forwards. George Lawler making 52 tackles and 131 metres, so he went both ways. Ryan Hall, 116 metres, and George King making 114 metres. For the losing Huddersfield side, Jake Wardle getting a try assist, 134 metres, and 2 clean breaks. Darnell McIntosh with 2 tries, 134 metres, 3 offloads. Luke Yates making a Luke Yates-like 51 tackles, 14 of those from marker. And Chris McQueen, 1 try, 47 tackles, 11 marker tackles, and 1 shit haircut.
Talking of shit haircuts, disciplinary pulled out Mikey Lewis from this game for a grade B striking offence. It was a high tackle in the game. 1 match penalty notice for the young scrum half.
And we had plenty of fan views on this one.
Of course we did, because it was fucking incredible. It was entertainment of the highest order for a neutral. Shoddy Mungo first, he said, in the battle between a team's ability to muck up my tipping and the other team's ability to generally muck up, my tipping took another knock. Batshit match.
Paul O'Brien, POB the Viking, said, a game that had everything, the fastest SL try to decisions that had different opinions from all sides. KR deserved the win, but could easily have been a win for the Giants. As a neutral, it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, it just escalated in insanity as we went. Mark W. said, can't expect to play for half a game and get a win. A step backwards from last week and showed we're really missing Golding much more than Caesar, although to credit KR, they did look good. We couldn't even get the 2 points with the refs on our payroll, making outlandish claims like maybe a ball going backwards isn't a knock-on, and other things that John Wells begs people pretend they can't see.
David Pye, so entertaining, much more enjoyable than the previous night's games. Great attack, average defence. Glad KR got their win. Here's to getting fans back soon. I mean, yeah, imagine that with people in the ground.
Oh yeah, especially now that they've put seats actually close to the pitch on the open end as well.
And the Toronto Memorial Garden as well.
Of course, yeah. Lamport Lane or whatever it's called. At Mike.22 said, the Man of Steel panel scores for Lee Gaskell's performances are in 9, 9.5, 8.5, 10. Perfect 10 from the Canadian judge on the end then.
Okay, I mean, what was that? What was that about?
I mean, so many people have a go at him yet before we get to the end of the fan views. We might as well lap them all in first. But Mike's is probably the best.
Brendan Loftus said, first half Huddersfield were atrocious, second half a bit better, though the reffing and video ref wasn't great. Agree with John Wells, there is no such thing as a legal aerial challenge anymore. Last tackle of the first half, a Rovers player flops on to stop the drop goal attempt, and then the last tackle of the game, there's a strip by Lytton. Guess smart plays are important. I mean, yeah, the Lytton strip was blatant and ridiculous, and again, I keep banging on about this every time I look at the guy, but for flip's sake, Jez Lytton is not a Super League player. Get him out of that side.
Fatboy Rob said, and the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress goes to
Tom Andrews. I'm sure for everyone else we are entertaining to watch, but for me, 80 minutes of torture. I feel we were deserved winners despite what Huddersfield Academy graduate Kendall thought. King, Parcell and Lawler all very good. Mustafa impresses me in his short stints. Gets through masses of tackles. Gaskell should be ashamed of his Mo Salah impression. Hope him and Kendall get the shits or something.
So much to unpack. Always in Our Shadow said, Giants robbed clear ball steal by Lytton at the death, totally overlooked by the ref. How did SKD stay on the pitch after his head knock? Why no HIA? Yeah, we touched on that, didn't we, already?
Yeah.
it was alarming to say the least, that one. And it was friendly fire from the energetic Muzzy Mustafa.
And finally, Sarah Mackenzie gets in touch, scoots to say Lee Gaskell going for the Olympic diving team or the Oscars, but SKD should have kept his hands out the way. Jones continuing to choose which matches he actually wants to play in. Caesar clearly wasn't the piece they were missing. Once again, Huddersfield mess up my predictions. Starting to think maybe I hate them more than the red and whites. Well, yeah, good luck.
I think she's not quite there yet, but they do fuck up some predictions, don't they? To the Giants. I was trying to find a better acting award that might be more suitable for Lee Gaskell's efforts at the weekend, and so I did a Google search that might become questionable at some point if someone checks through my history of adult entertainment awards, and there's a hilariously named award ceremony called the Shafters rather than the BAFTAs.
Do you think that's something we could submit Cougar TV for?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it's streamed exclusively on Cougar TV. But yeah, there's so much to get through in this game, and it all starts right at the fucking start. And only one person's mentioned that.
Yeah, the fastest try we've ever seen, and everyone just skims over it because so much else shit happened.
Because it went so crazy. Shall we start with the 7 seconds? 7 seconds to the shove, then 0.4 seconds after the shove for the try.
Why not? It was awarded a try by the referee. I feel that phrase could come back to bite me in about 2 minutes' time.
But Ben Crooks' try, I mean, the kickoff was put in a difficult place. It kind of wasn't really anyone's to take, and no one took it.
Yeah, they were just caught napping, weren't they? Nobody took responsibility for just getting on top of it and lying on.
When you see quick tries in rugby league, you always know that at the start of the game, you always know that you're going to see a mistake by someone, I think. Yeah. But in this game, for this try, I'm still trying to figure out who should be blamed for the ball being allowed to bounce, for the ball not being pounced upon. I think we just give credit to Ben Crooks for being the first man there.
Well, it takes scoring. And if you're going to chase the ball, it's worth doing it. And that's the example, isn't it? I think we might see a little bit of an up intensity at the beginning of games as other teams think, well, that's potentially an easy 4 points.
Yeah, it was certainly a lapse from Huddersfield and an absolutely killer start from Hull KR. Where do we go next in this match? We should mention Corbin Sims got another head knock. That's 2 in 2 games. That's a worry, isn't it?
Yes. It is, because he's someone with a big history of injury anyway, keeping him out of games for long periods. It is a worry. I mean, he lasted just under. It was about 7 minutes. He lasted.
Yeah, it was within the first 3 or 4 sets, wasn't it? Definitely. So most of the time he was on the field was stood watching Jordan Abdul line up a conversion for Ben Crooks' try, I think.
Yeah, he's not the quickest kicker, is he, Abdul?
Well, there's a lot of him to get around, isn't there, for halfback?
Yeah, he's not your traditional halfback size.
Look, you must have been absolutely loving life in the first half, though. For the first half an hour, Hull KR were the only team in this game. It felt like Huddersfield were a very passive participant.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder what I was going to do. I was going to say, well, do I switch off after 60 minutes if it carries on like this? Do I try and watch a film? Because I had the house to myself on Friday evening, so I was able to watch in uninterrupted. Had a bit of Cougar TV and anything. Yeah, so I was starting to wonder had I wasted my night. But oh no, we can never play two consistent halves the same. That's not possible.